Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from Miniart. It is made in 1/35 scale, which is classic for this brand, but as you can see here we get so-called Schwerer Panzersprachwagen. So this is Sd Kfz 234/4, but it comes with a crew, which you can see also on the box art. So it makes up an interesting combo in a popular scale, so you can build it up into some diorama, or even the vehicle and the figurines will look already different from just vehicle in 1/35 scale. And you can also notice that this is not an interior kit, so it lets you to focus on external features only, and I think here it will be more important because we have these guys on the top. So first of all, I have to say that the box size is typical for this brand. The kit number is written there, 53014, and here is comparison with my hand. And also, if you want to order the same kit, you can find it in Modelimex. You'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review. So this is the final shape of this kit, and nothing will change. So here you can also see the address of the manufacturer and some safety advices. And on the opposite side, you can see also the small note that decals are coming from cartograph. And here we have 4 marking options for this vehicle, which are different, I would say. So you'll definitely find something interesting for your build as well. And this is a top opening box, and I will try to open it as quickly as I can, because here we have the box filled up to the top with the plastic sprues, as you can notice, but everything is packed into one plastic bag. It's sealed plastic bag, so if you have a chance to open the box and check what is inside, definitely do this, because it will ensure that you don't get something broken. But as you can notice, those kits are usually shipped to me with the post office, and everything arrives intact. And you can hear I'm opening the plastic bag, so it's quite quick task because it's a sealed plastic bag. But of course, packing each sprue into the separate plastic bag would be a bit more, I would say, protective for the plastic parts. But we get what we get. And after all of this plastic bag noise, finally we get to the figurine sprue, which was on the top. So we will start with these guys, and let's zoom in a bit. So overall design is standard for 1/35 scale, so here you will not get any weird parts division or maybe some different parts shaping. And as you can see, all 5 guys are here, and we have the separate legs, we have the separate hands, 1-piece torso, 1-piece head, and also the helmets are separate. And what is interesting here is that some soldiers, they actually have 2 options for the head. So in case you would like to install the helmet, they have also the helmet straps on their chin. And this is really cool because it gives you some variety and you don't have to do everything by your own. It's already pre-molded, and the surface details or surface features, they're actually quite nice. So here you can see these figurines from the opposite side, but there are no guiding elements whatsoever. So in case you would like to have a proper fitment, you will have to track everything, if we can say it this way, with your own eyes. And it's definitely a good idea, because this way you will ensure that everything fits properly, and you will avoid also the toy soldier look. Here we continue with the first hull panels. So those ones will be used for the lower section. Here you can see, by the way, the floor panel. Again, I remind you that we are dealing here with a version without interior, so that's why even though here we get the separate hatches, they will not be that useful because there is nothing much to show. But maybe if you find some soldiers in a getting in position, this might be handy, but that's already up to you because it's not supplied here in the box, obviously. And here from the opposite side, you can see also that features are present from the external side as well. And there are also some guiding elements for the side fenders. Next, we continue with the suspension parts. Those are supplied on 2 identical plastic sprues. So this is the frame DA, and I will show you only one, of course. So here, this vehicle, I mean, even the real one has quite sophisticated suspension. As you can see, a lot of suspension arms and also the leaf springs here. So all of this stuff is copied here out of the box, but the assembly will take a bit of time because to get all of these items together and align them properly, it's better not to hurry and assemble everything on its own pace. Next, we continue with the sprue for the some of the internal features. Why I'm a bit slow? Because I'm surprised that it's actually included here. As you can see, we have some steering wheels and also some of the radio equipment, and I wonder if it will be actually used here, because if yes, then it will be definitely an interesting thing for exposing the fighting compartment. Next, we continue with two identical plastic sprues from what I can see. That's the sprue CA, so I will show you only one here. We have some Pioneer tools, also we have some parts for the drivetrain, and note that, for example, shovel here is molded together with the clamp. We also have some seats here. So again, some of the interior parts, which is quite interesting, and I wonder if they will be actually handy here. Next, by the way, here's the third one, third frame with the suspension parts. Actually, there are 4 of them. I found more, so this is something also to keep in mind. Next, we continue with the large plastic frame, which is dedicated to the main gun. So here we can see the main barrel, and also note that muzzle brake is supplied in several versions, even with the transport cover, which is quite interesting option. And note that the frontal section is molded separately, so you have to combine it here with this main body, if we can say it this way. And overall, even the thinnest parts are molded nicely, so if I zoom in here, you can see what I'm talking about. And I think with some careful separation, you'll get a quite nice result. But I think for the main barrel, it looks quite okay for the standard out-of-the-box build, but in case you would like to achieve something more, then you definitely have to find some aftermarket which copies proper metal barrel. Here we continue with more of the hull parts. Note also here a machine gun, and overall, again, a lot of thin and small parts. So this is a 1/35 scale, that's why Miniart uses this up to the maximum, if we can say it this way, because here you get a lot of stuff copied in the standard plastic. This is cool, but it will require some due patience, and also you have to have some right tools, especially the sharp cutters and the plastic saw, because otherwise you might end up with the damaged parts. Here we have the top hull section, and as you can see, it is also molded as a single piece part. We have the separate hatches even for the engine compartment, but this will be hardly useful here because we do not get the engine, as you remember, but still quite a good attention to the small features as well. Next, we have the road wheels. So with those ones, they are supplied on 4 plastic sprues from what I can see. So this vehicle will be using this type of wheels, and you can notice that here we get also some surface features on the tire walls. This is the name of the manufacturer and the size of the tire. And this is quite cool attention to the small features, because it will be noticeable even after you paint the part. So definitely take your time, try to apply dust in a convincing way, and you'll get a really good looking thing. And I'm glad to see the plastic wheels here, not the vinyl tires, not something else, because these plastic wheels are better looking. And maybe if you are not satisfied with what you see here, you can find some aftermarket with the weighted wheels, but this is already some extra money from you, of course, required. Next, we have those 2 plastic sprues with the jerry cans. So each jerry can should be assembled out of several parts, and this is quite a nice attention to the small things on such a simple item. And also we have some surface features here on the walls of this jerry can, so probably now you can see it. It's written here, just like on the real thing, and that's really cool again, because this is the standard plastic kit, and you get such features without having to resort for some resin stuff, just like in some other kits. Next, we have the sidewalls for the hull, again some separate hatches. And next we have small plastic sprue, which is also supplied in a double, but I guess this one will be useful for some external features. Nothing special here, but again a lot of small parts. And I know that for some modelers it's a bit of a nightmare, but with some careful application, if you do not hurry, you can get a really good looking result. Here, by the way, you can see also some of the hull parts again. So these are the side fenders and the mudguards. And next, just give me a second. we have the last gray plastic sprue. Here, do not be confused with another wheel. This one, I guess it will not be used, even though this is a spare wheel. Also, we have some parts for the fighting compartment, but I'm not sure if they will be actually used in today's set, because again, we are dealing with a version without interior. And overall, I see that the parts division is well thought through. It repeats the panel lines, so you won't get any weird connections between the hull parts, and I think it's important in a 1/35 scale kit. Next, we continue with the clear plastic sprue. So I will show it in a second. It was packed into the separate plastic bag, so as you can see, the molding quality looks great, and there are no masks for these parts. So I would recommend to use liquid masks, because these are mainly periscopes, but the final choice is after you. And next we have also the decals, which are coming from cartography, as you remember. So as you can see, printing quality looks great, but these decals are quite small. Here is comparison with my fingertip, so be sure to apply them carefully. Maybe some others can replicate those white crosses with the masking, but this is already up on your confidence level. Next, we also have the unpainted PE fret. This one will be handy for some fine features on your vehicle, and I think that's really cool that it's included in the standard package. You don't have to buy it separately. You just open it, install it, and you have a bit more features on your vehicle. And as for the assembly manual, I'm closing the lenses so that you can see what we have here. It's a classic Miniart brochure, but here on the first page we have short list of the features. They do not write the parts count anymore, unfortunately. But here on the first two pages we have two marking options. So this one is from Austria, spring 1945. Another one is from, it's not written from where it is, but it's from spring 1945, and that's exactly the vehicle which was on the box art. And from what I see, we will have to use the spare wheel as well, which is quite interesting. Next, we continue here with the parts map. Keep in mind that Miniart does not show which parts are unused, so that's why you have to pay attention which type is used here or there, because sometimes you get a double version and you have to pick the right one. And note that the hull is assembled out of several parts, and what is interesting is that even the radio station inside is copied, and the steering wheel and all other stuff. So overall, the fighting compartment should be quite nicely detailed. And that's why I'm surprised, because it's not written that it's interior kit, because we did not get the engine, but still we get plenty of things in the fighting compartment. So for some build ideas it will be more than enough, especially if you plan to open these hatches. And as you can see, manufacturer shows what you have to use, which parts, in order to replicate the open position of the hatches. Here we continue with the suspension. So a lot of interesting things are going on, because again, the suspension design was quite sophisticated for this vehicle. Again, we have some options for the open closed hatches on the main hull. Next, I'm trying to pick the next page. So next, here we have the Pioneer tools, we have the jerry cans, and they are packed quite generously, I would say. More Pioneer tools here, because you have a choice whether you would like to install them with the clamps or without them. And next we also have the main gun barrel starting to assemble. So as you can see, it's a full breech assembly, and this is a quite cool thing, because it will be open on the finished vehicle and the fighting compartment will be visible. So that's why it's good that all of this stuff is included. Here we have also the crew. So as you can see, it's a marking guide which is combined together with assembly manual. And then on the next page you can see another marking option, which is coming from Prague, spring 1945. And here is another one from Berlin, spring 1945. And of course we have the famous Miniart class chart. As you can see, they have all of the manufacturer designations, so this is also a good conversion table as well. But overall, I think it's a really great release from Miniart, and it should be already available in Modelimex. And of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such combo. Write it here in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.